a piece before, but I couldn't place when the last time I felt it was, but it just has never gone away. And, even still, I mean, I still get these moments every once in a while. I'm like, am I doing the right thing? And then it's like, then I remember that moment and I remember what my kids say. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy, but here I am.
Well, Amy, I just love you.
Oh, I love you too, Cindy.
And I miss you so much.
Jan, I love you now too.
This is a love fest.
This is a love fest. We're 50-some minutes into this, and Jen, I love you.
Yeah, but I do. I miss my comedy friends more than anything. Just going to the open mics, bouncing stuff off each other. And I mean, me and you are not the youngest. We're the elder in the comedy scene, but they kept me young. Yep. You know what I mean? All them young kids, I see them every week, and they always kept me young, and I miss that. I miss, and it's just, geez, there's not many our age, is there, Amy?
No, there's a few of us, and they do keep us young. They do keep us on our toes, and I think the other interesting thing about it is the comedy scene is, and I don't know if it's like this in every city, but at least the one here that we're used to, it's just such a powder keg of emotion. Between people that are in rehab, doing some form of rehab, people that, are still hitting the drugs and the alcohol and the volatile mix of anxiety and depression. And everybody has courage to get up on stage and talk about it.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It is insane. Like, I never really understood that about comedians in general, and stereotypes are based on reality, but it's just a whole room of people that you would not imagine in a million years would have the courage to get up on stage. Anxiety and depression. I mean, and everybody gets in it. So weird that the thing that you would think would be no way am I getting on stage with this horrible anxiety I have. You know what I mean? Somebody. And it's crazy. So somehow, like, that stress of going up there and bombing possibly calms you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I go on there, I'm like, why do I put myself through this? Why am I freaking out 3 minutes before? Jen knows I'm constantly messaging our group chats, flipping out, going, I'm having a meltdown.
That'd be awful. They loved me.
I know. I'm having a meltdown, like, especially my first hosting gig at the car. I was having a meltdown. And and I'm thinking, why do I do this to myself? Why do I stress myself out? I don't know why. I just like to be punished.
Especially on a Tuesday night.
Well, right? Them open mics. I don't drink. I know them open mics are brutal sometimes, but you know what? I say
but that's where you got to go to practice.
Yup. And I say this, if you can go up on an open mic in front of 25 people that are talking, they're at a bar, and some that are comics, some that aren't, and if you can get up there and get half of a laugh, half of your set to laugh at you, I feel like you've won. And it really does give you, like, challenges you,
My first open mic here locally was at the old Buddha pub.
Yeah.
Right before it closed. And there was a table of girls that were just there for dinner. And my goal that first time, and this was my first open mic ever, but my goal was to get them to laugh. And they did. Yep. So the rest of the room was quiet, but because they were all comics, but that table full of people that were just there for dinner, I got them to laugh, and I walked away and said, okay, I can do this again.
Yep. I went to your graduation show.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did. I went to your graduation show. That was my first time seeing you at, the Tuesday
Firehouse.
night.
Yep.
Firehouse. Yep. Because I used to try to hit the graduation shows, because you stood out to me, obviously.
Well, that's because I'm 6 feet tall.
Nah, but no, I thought you were funny. And there was one more girl in the class. Was it Nicole?
No, Nicole wasn't in ours.
Wasn't it? Okay, she stood up.
Carolyn, she's done a couple gigs here and there. She did that one show with us at, oh gosh, what was that bar you got yelled at?
Oh, Jen, I told you I got yelled at for when I got up and did my.
She was in that show too.
I got up and did my R-word joke, and I got yelled at by the bartender. So I got off, and I needed to just plug along to the punch. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was a lesson learned. If you don't read the crowd and you get groans badly, that, you know, just go straight to your punch, because that's going to bring it home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I got off stage and I sat down, and there was a table next to us. And it's right, Amy, we were sitting together because I was eating my shrimp and grits.
Yep.
And there was a whole table next to me with women that probably were like in their 40s, like 5 or 6 of them. And the one woman looked over at me and she goes, I just have to tell you about what I think of your joke. And here I am, Amy. I'm like, oh God, oh God.
Here it comes.
They go, we work with mentally handicapped children. And I'm like, oh God. And they go, we thought you were hysterical.
Aww.
And don't let, you know, that we were not offended by it at all. You were talking about yourself. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? It was.
You weren't attacking.
I wasn't, all right. I was about myself. Like when I was that age, this is what I was labeled, and da-da-da. But I felt like, Amy's laughing. This is true.
Some people are just looking for a reason to be offended.
Hey, I'm going to say it right now. You were grand-hearted in.
I was grand-hearted in, you know, but.
But you know, and this is
a very woke bar we were at, by the way. Like, you couldn't get more woke and more hipster than this bar.
Yeah, but I also think too, I think the way that I view these words is you were claiming something for you, mm-hmm. and you didn't, and it was a play on the word that you were using and directed at you because you were labeled that as a child. So I look at that as a clever joke that's at you. You're not punching down. I didn't view it as punching down, but I can also see where some people might think that. So I think that goes back to reading the crowd. And so, and the women, and I remember those ladies because I was thinking about applying for the grad program.
Right. We were all sitting together.
And they work for a local health system here, and they were all mental health professionals. So, I mean, so you never know.
Yeah, but I was like, Amy, I'm about to get my ass chewed out by these women. Oh, here we go.
And they were like, oh, great joke.
Yeah, they were like, we were not offended by you at all. We thought it was great, whatever, da-da-da. But, you know, and that comes down to, even when I do some of my gay jokes, and I struggled with using the word dyke in some of my gay jokes. You know what I mean? Like, and I took it out because my girlfriend told me that's not appropriate. You shouldn't use that word. And I took it out of the one joke. And then after I took it out, I had so many people that had heard me tell the joke using the dyke and then changing it to lesbian. And they were like, why did you change it? Like, that really brought it home. Yep. Take it, say it, you know. Right. You know, you can say that. And, you know, so I'm like, you know what? I just need to write and accept, Amy, that I'm not going to make everybody happy, but it's my truth, you know? Yeah. And I know and I would never punch down. I know, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me with my upbringing and the porn. I don't know where to draw the line.
Well, your upbringing in porn is very unique.
I don't know where to draw the line sometimes, but you know what? I'm like, I'm not going to make everybody happy. Not everybody laughs at the porn jokes. A lot of people don't even think it's funny that I was brought up in a strip club as a young kid because my father owned it. You know what I mean? They're like, but it's my truth and it's funny. And, you know, and I think the majority of the time I will get laughs, you know?
Yeah.
And I have to take the good, but I can't make everyone happy. I have to accept that.
Yep.
So
Amy, do you know Emma Willman?
No, I don't know that name off the top of my head.
She's a friend of Cindy's. I
wish she was a friend of mine. She's a stand-up comedian who I happen to listen to her podcast. But yeah,
whatever.
Right?
You have her cell phone number. You're friends.
Well, okay.
Anyways, I was listening to her podcast today, and I don't know who the guy is. I think it's Justin, who she tours with.
Yeah, Justin opens for her.
And they were talking, and she's been doing a stand-up class just to kill time. and while they're quarantined. And he said that sort of situation, don't try and impress everybody. Like, if every time you walk into a room, try and aim for 80%. Like, it's just too much pressure on yourself to always be shooting for 100%. Like, shoot for 80%. If you do better, great. But it just mentally takes so much pressure off of you. And after he said it, I was listening, I was like, that just applies to so many things in life. Like, whether it be your job or walking into a party or like anything, like, it's just such a good way to look at life. Like,
except for condom usage, I would say 80% is not a good number to shoot for.
Probably a very good point.
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't know they're doing a comedy class. She's teaching a class.
No. She's actually taking one.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Emma's taking one. She's bored. So, and her girlfriend.
Well, and I got wasted, Amy, the other night. Well,
no way.
Amy. I fell off the way I get Amy.
No.
I did. I fell hard.
So hard.
Listen, since I had my weight loss surgery, I haven't been really smoking weed because I didn't want to get the munchies. But since quarantine, Amy, I've fallen. Hence, I haven't lost any weight. I'm only losing my hair now, not losing weight. But I got wasted, and I hit up Emma randomly and forgot and asked her to do my podcast, and she messaged me back. She's like, yeah, here's my cell phone. Of course I'll do your podcast. Like, I don't think she knows who I am. But
well, that's a yeah. Hey,
but she
awesome.
did. I have drilled into her head enough that when you're in upstate, I am definitely hosting or doing a spot. And she's like, absolutely. So
good.
Amy, when are we going to get back on stage?
$1 million question. If you're an optimist, I would say late summer, early fall. I think if you're a pessimist, you're more along the lines of Justin Trudeau, and you're about 18 months out.
Oh.
I had to work that in for Jen. I have a good friend in Toronto, so I do pay attention to what's going on the Canadian side of the border. So if they go with the vaccine side of it, we could be waiting a long time, but I got a feeling it'll be sooner than that.
Yeah, I mean, Amy, I got like one of the gig of my lifetime for my little life. Okay. And was Jessica Curson, who's coming to the Carlson in September. And she is one of my favorites out of the Comedy Cellar right now. She's hot. She's been doing comedy for many years, but she's just starting to pop. And I got, hopefully I would be hosting because she's bringing her opener. And I was like dying. I'm going to be doing 5. I get to sit in the green room with her for 5 shows. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be happening. September.
Oh, yeah, you'll be fine by September.
It depends on the second wave. It really does. And, and that's the scary thing is, if we maintain social distance and wear our masks, and there's probably a good chance of it. But if people let their guard down over the summer, and I think many of us will, I think, the best thing to do is have low expectations, and hopefully you'll exceed them.
Oh, I had so many good things booked finally, and it all came crashing down, Amy. Now I'm an essential worker. I'm out there doing God's work, delivering pizza to fatties. Like, what?
I was just talking to the family tonight about maybe coming over and picking up a pickle pizza this week.
Yes, call me. Come see me.
Come see you?
Yes, I would love to see you. But yeah, we're there. I set up a little window so you don't even have to come in. But we have been so busy because everything else is closed. So I'm tired. I need to quarantine.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I've been training to quarantine my whole life, and I don't even get a chance to shine.
I go back to work next week.
Do you?
Yep.
They're opening up here as well.
Starbucks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're there's a few here that are open, but yeah. So
why did Starbucks even close? I drove by there like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, it's just a drive-through. Let me get some coffee here.
I think our drive-throughs are still open. But
no, ours were closed.
Oh, the one closest to me has no drive-through. They're closed.
Yeah, I don't have a big grand theory because I just make the coffee. I'm not a store manager or anything like that. But and I would be afraid to talk out a term, but a lot of it is they just wanted to make sure people were safe.
That's good though, in a way,